4 people, including the suspect, are dead following a shooting in Colorado Springs today. Police say they shot and killed the suspect during the rampage. A Great Falls woman has been charged with 2 counts of assault with a weapon after she allegedly shot her boyfriend. According to the Cascade County Sheriff's Department, officers were dispatched to the 6000 block of 2nd Avenue North around 3:30 this morning. Tragic, devastating, and shocking news tonight out of Anaconda-Deer Lodge County, where according to the official coroner, a family of 5 is dead after a shooting at a residence. 4 people, including a 2-year-old, are dead following a horrific accident during the Oklahoma State Homecoming Parade. Since John Boehner's resignation, Congress has been waiting for a member to step up and take over as Speaker of the House. One possibility is Representative Ryan Zinke from Montana, and MTN News had the opportunity to speak with him last night. A Tony Award and a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Hey, you may have a big trophy case, but chances are Sir Elton John's is bigger. Well, definitely a lot of surprise in this neighborhood right now. I spoke to one woman who was very shocked because she believes that Missoula is such a nice place. Today, TJ McDermott wanted to focus on the solutions and not the problems. If you're asking yourself, why was that permit denied? I spoke with Missoula police, and they informed me that they have a lot of issues with this location. Now, if you think this is the end, Mercer says you should think again. He told me that this sentence will probably create another appeal to the Montana Supreme Court by Ramble's attorney. Now, for the half marathon, it's a little bit different. The half marathon is going to start at Alpine Physical Therapy. The shelter started out with 31 dogs, including 15 puppies, and now there's only 2 left. Students will be performing tomorrow when they get to show off all of their musical talent. Reporting in Missoula, Robbie Reynold, MTN News.
Haven't had Big Dipper yet. You got to get there.
Well, I'll tell you, once I get a girlfriend, I'll take her there.
Okay.
Well,
I don't know when you're going to get there. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We've been talking about possible Halloween costumes, and I thought of a couple of good ones for you.
Yeah.
We have Lex Luthor, Curly from the Three Stooges,
right.
George Costanza,
of course,
and Homer Simpson. I'm not sure if you can see the trend there, but I think they would all be great costumes for you. Just saying.
How unflattering.
Now, at the end of the 5:30 newscast, I compared Dan Tamino's suit to Tiger Woods' golf game today, which was a little mean, but I'll give him this. It's a bold selection.
You know,
I think it is.
We begin our team coverage now with Robbie Reynold, who has been covering the trial from the start.
He joined us now live from the Missoula County Courthouse with reaction from the victim's family and neighbors of Marcus Karma. Robbie.
Mike, Jill, once the verdict came down, the tears started shedding. And for most people, those were tears of joy. Neighbors and family members rejoiced upon hearing that Marcus Karma was found guilty. The expression of Marcus Karma changed very little during the 2-week trial, but moments before the reading of the verdict, he seemed to be on the verge of tears. Finally, the jury's decision.
To the charge of deliberate homicide, we, the jury, all of our number, find the defendant, Marcus Hendrick Karma, guilty.
As Karma remained mostly stoic, the parents of Dear and Dee embrace upon hearing the decision, and neighbors cheer.
It's one of those things where I can't even describe it. I can't imagine wanting I can't in my life remember ever wanting anything so badly as this, and to have the weight lifted from me. Justice was served, and that's about all I can say right now. I mean, I'm elated.
Neighbor Terry Kleiss testified during the trial, expressing the fear he felt around Karma and his partner, Janelle Flager. Today, it was all smiles and a sense of relief.
We don't have to look at him anymore. We don't have to deal with him anymore as neighbors. We don't have to have him eyeing us from his deck to our deck. We can now start to heal because our neighborhood was damaged fairly badly by this.
It's bittersweet for Randy Smith, one of Dear and Dee Dee's host parents. He too shed tears of joy following the verdict, but still can't hide the pain of losing a loved one.
It's obviously a long time coming, but a positive verdict. I'm very happy. I think justice was done. It doesn't bring back Deeren, and it doesn't undo the pain that was caused to so many people, but a happy ending.
As for Dee Dee's father, Salal, it's both a victory and a moment of gratitude.
Thank you for Montana.
Karma faces a minimum of 10 years in prison and a maximum of 100. Attorneys will return to the courtroom tomorrow morning for a hearing on bail. Back to you. It's an urgent situation. Someone has gone missing, or a dangerous suspect is on the loose. Who are you going to call? These guys.
And here's a signature print.
The Lake County Search and Rescue Team boasts a specialized division known as Man Trackers, which started 9 years ago. They're called in when a missing person cannot be found, and all else has failed.
It is one of the most viable and important aspects of search and rescue in terms of finding people.
This team has been involved with many successful searches, including homicide suspect Harry Lozo. After Lozo disappeared into the Mission Mountains, Man Trackers closed in, forcing him out into the open. He was later spotted in Ronan and eventually captured.
Sometimes we aren't the people that actually find the individual, but if you look at the possibilities, for instance, somebody gone for 5 hours could be within 312 square miles. So we narrow that down by getting a direction of travel.
Bruce McMillan is the lead tracker. He, along with Frankie Brown and Stacy Violet, make up the core tracker team. The program typically has 12 members, all volunteers, and many were inspired to join because of a personal incident. Stacy Violet was in his backyard one night when a lost boy showed up. He called the authorities, and they were eventually able to find his uncle and father.
And when the son and the dad got back together, I don't know who was more happy, and that was the best feeling. And so that was kind of an ignition for me.
All of the trackers go through special training and then meet regularly to keep up with everything from different styles of footwear to new ways to tackle difficult conditions like snow and nighttime searches. A typical team of 3 has one lead tracker and 2 more on the outside, known as flankers. Their methods boil down to one thing: the footprint.
This gentleman or person has been through here several times.
Just by looking at someone's print, they can tell a lot about them. For example, the patterns of someone's feet can indicate whether they are lost or fleeing.
If someone's lost, they're not going to pick something out and walk straight to it. Someone that's trying to elude people is going to look for thicker brush, something to hide behind. The footprints will keep turning like they're looking behind them.
I decided to test their abilities and landed my own footprint in the dirt. Just by taking a look, the Man Trackers found out a number of things.
Identifying the shoe type is an athletic shoe.
Athletic shoe. And
He sits in the car a lot because he's got a bald spot on his right foot.
Pronating right foot with a little femoral anteversion. Yeah.
Yes, I do have pronated feet.
Needless to say, they found out quite a bit. On special assignment, Robbie Reynold, MTN News. Broncos fans, you're going to want to cover your ears for this one. I'm about to give you some bad news. Now, he may only be 7 years old, but he's already a national champion. In a system like theirs that is so dependent on the pass, they're really going to have to shift over to the run now.
Yes, and they have not been able to run the ball well the last few games.
I'm Robbie Reynold here at Missoula County Stadium, enjoying the great view we have for the football game tonight. Final score there was 24-21, Weber State over Montana in overtime, so that was the final score there. Now the players, they're warming up, but the cheerleaders, they're all ready to go.
That's right, I do love curling, by the way. But yeah, McKenna Simmons, third-string quarterback, he looked like a starter today, throwing for 6 touchdowns.
He looked great. You know, he's probably great at curling. He's got a great right arm. He can just go in there, shove it fast. I know, McKenna, I know you can play curling. Good evening, I'm Robbie Reynolds here at Missoula County Stadium. We have Big Sky taking on Sentinel in a crosstown rivalry. The player watching this one is going to be Michael Banna. He's a fullback for Big Sky, and he's expected to carry the load. Sentinel's quarterback Mitch Roberts carried the load for the Spartans early, completing this 30-yard touchdown pass to Nick Germer for the first score of the game. Big Sky answered in the second quarter on defense. Bryson Foltz strips Roberts from behind, and look who it is. Banna picks up the loose ball and takes it in to even the score. The Spartans came charging back through the air. Roberts to Alex Steele on the wide receiver screen. This would set up a rushing touchdown. But the big play came at the end of the second half. Big Sky's Tyler Ogilvie connects with Nick Wakai on the Hail Mary. That evened the score. But despite that play, Josh Deschner scored the winning touchdown for the Spartans with a minute left. Sentinel wins by a final of 26-22. I'm I'm Robbie Reynold here in Arlee, where Flint Creek is taking on the host Warriors. The player to watch in this one is Patrick Big Sam, and just like his name implies, he's got a big arm, so expect him to be a standout. It was actually the pass defenses that stood out early. Check out Arlee's Tyler Tanner on this one. He gets beat deep but recovers nicely to deflect the pass. And how about Ethan Stevenson for the Titans, picking off Big Sam? This will be the first of 3 first-half interceptions for the Warriors quarterback. But Big Sam finally got rocking and rolling in the second quarter. Tyler Tanner helps him out by breaking some tackles, and he gets into the zone, making it a 10-0 Warrior lead. Later in the second, Flint Creek answered with a score and then a quarterback keeper for 2 points, courtesy of signal caller Mark Estes. But ultimately, Big Sam's big arm was just too much to handle. Philip Malarte helps him out with this sweet grab for 6. The Warriors win this one and they stay undefeated. You could barely see the outlines of Missoula's mountainsides amongst the deep cloud of smoke surrounding the city. It's the perfect day to just chill out, play some video games, watch some TV, or hike the M? Wait, what?
It's not great.
If the steep, zigzagging climb wasn't challenging enough, some hikers decided to take it on in these less than ideal conditions. Caroline Holiday is from Delaware and said hiking the M was something her and her friends just had to do, regardless of the air quality.
Yeah, it was still a really pretty hike. It was nice to see the M. We heard it's like this famous thing that you have to see when you come to Missoula.
To top it off, Holiday actually completed a bike tour from Bozeman to Missoula earlier this week, proving she really is a smoke warrior.
We took a ride, and while the ash was falling down, we like getting ash in our eyes and everywhere. Not really pleasant.
What makes this challenge even more difficult is that it only gets harder as you get higher. The air is thinner and there's only more smoke. Stephanie Christ and her son Drew decided to take on the task as well.
We needed to get out of the house to just exercise, and even though it's bad, we're still good. I mean, it's taken us longer to get up the hill than it normally would, but that's okay.
In Missoula, Robbie Reynold, MTN News. Russ Thomas is off again, but don't worry, because I'm here and I'm ready to do the weather. It's part of the weather pattern we've seen all weekend, with stormy conditions crisscrossing western Montana. Take a look at this video. On the left is the strong rain hitting Reserve Street. Drivers had to be much more cautious once this started coming down. I know we've been in the high 20s, low 30s most of the time, so this is going to be a little bit of a relief, a little bit warmer evening for most people. This isn't heavy rain we're talking about. We're talking about just mostly modest showers, but still keep those umbrellas handy because you're going to need them for tomorrow. And it pretty much dies out for the rest of the week. We're going to go into the low 60s. A little bit cool on Friday, going to that 55, and Saturday you can expect very cool going into next weekend. It's just a really cool kind of fading shot. Almost looks like one of the second moons in Star Wars, kind of. That's the way I don't want to get too geeky on you guys, but that's really what it looks like there. Normally in February you would see a lot of snow, but that's not the case today. In fact, I can barely even make a snowball. Another thing you want to think about is the time of day. It's 3 o'clock right now and it's burning. But 3 hours later, it's a lot cooler, making for a much better experience. My partner in crime, Russ Thomas, is still enjoying some much-deserved time off, so I'll be filling in on weather tonight. And let's start with a look at the good old radar. Here we go with a look over at the United States, and you already see lots of green. That is the rain. I know plenty of you want to know what's going to happen there, so let's go ahead and zoom on in Missoula. And right now, that rain's pretty far away. We're seeing a lot of cloud covering. We did see pretty cloudy day, kind of a mix of cloud and sunshine today, but you see that rain just coming up further towards Missoula. Later on in this weathercast, I'm going to show you exactly when it's going to hit and when you need to be prepared for tomorrow. Let's take a look now at your current temperatures. Low 50s and high 40s across the strait. You're looking pretty cool up in Kalispell as usual, out to 49, then 48 here in Missoula. Pretty much the same thing across this state. Not too cold of an evening, but pretty much in that moderate temperature. Let's now move over to a look at the full state here. And as you can see, as you move more to the east, getting a little bit warmer, you see that 61 in Miles City, 61 in Glendive, but off to the west, 54 in Spokane. And really, I think those north cities like Kalispell, Cut Bank, however those really stand out as kind of the coolest parts of the state right now. Overall, just a pretty moderate evening. Not too cold, not too warm. Taking a look now at tonight's lows, it's going to get a little bit cooler as we move on. You see 37 in Trout Creek, 36 in Thompson Falls, getting really cold down there. Up in Eureka and Troy, also in the high 30s. Polson getting up a little bit warmer, and also a little bit warmer here in Missoula. You take a look at it, 42 in Potomac as well. A little bit warmer as we move to the southern part of the state. And now let's move on to that future track. I know this is what you're all looking forward to. When is that rain going to hit? Well, here we are, 10:30 a.m. on Monday morning, and you see that rain swept through Missoula, and now you're seeing it all over Kalispell. That's pretty much what we're going to see, but there's more rain coming in. So let's advance a little bit further here. As you can see, pretty much looks like it's going to be on Monday some scattered showers. You see those little scattered green spots running through Missoula. That's what we should expect come tomorrow, and then Kalispell is going to see a little bit heavier rain. And looking down at Butte and Great Falls, those guys are going to see some serious rain coming down. That is going to be a look at them for tomorrow. Now let's take a look at tomorrow's highs. Should be a very moderate day, low 60s, high 50s across the state, 59 in Missoula, 61 in Superior. Pretty much moderate temperatures, a lot like what we're feeling right now. Not too warm, not too cold, although it's going to be a little bit warmer than this evening. And look at further down in the state, it's going to get a little bit cooler. Stephenville's going to come in about 58 tomorrow. Missoula coming at 56. And looking all the way down Idaho and Salmon, you're going to be up to just 47. They're feeling a little bit more of those winter temperatures already coming on. And now let's get to the 7-day forecast. There is your rain, that 80% chance of precipitation tomorrow. So bring your umbrellas out. Expect that to happen. And it's really going to fade as we go through the rest of the week. It really drops off on Tuesday. No chance of precipitation on Wednesday, and only very slight chances going through the rest of the week. And as far as temperatures go, it's going to get a little bit cooler as we go through the week, starting in those low 60s Wednesday, Thursday, moving on to the weekend, a little bit cooler at 58 on both Saturday and Sunday. Quick look now at Kalispell. You're going to see pretty much the same thing, that precipitation coming in on Monday, going to cool down by the time we come to the end of the week. And then really quick, let's take a look at Hamilton. There's your 7-day for Hamilton. Lots of rain could be coming into Hamilton. Be prepared for that. And of course, temperature is going to get a little bit cooler as we move on. Really the same kind of pattern in Hamilton, Kalispell, and Missoula. Cold weather and snow mean bad news for homeowners in Missoula if they're not properly prepared. For starters, freezing pipes can ruin your kitchen in a hurry.
They will burst. It will cause a mess inside the house. Very expensive to hire a plumber to be able to fix that.
Heat tape and faucet protectors can help with preventing pipe bursting. Another good thing to check on is the roof and gutters. They may be a pain to clean, but it pays off in the end.
With the snow piling up on your roof rakes are always a good thing to help get that snow off before it accumulates and helps kind of break your gutters.
The outside of your home is really important, but you also have to think about the inside. The colder weather can really take a beating on your energy bill if your equipment isn't sharp. Before the snow hits, officials with Northwestern Energy recommend that people tune up their heating systems. It's also a good idea to look through the ceiling and windows for any air leaks.
Warm air likes to move to cold, so sealing up air leaks is a great way to create some barriers and keep the heat that you're paying for inside your house.
Make sure you check for insulation in the attic and have a good thermostat set in place. In Missoula, Robbie Reynold, MTN News.